So what is EPA's Measurement Technology Group? They're the folks that write the methods and get them promulgated. So the EPA's formal reference methods come out of the Measurement Technology Group. Steph Johnson is the leader of that group. Kim Garnett is part of that. One of their important roles is to direct the kind of research that my group, ORD, needs to perform. So they are my primary customer, but then they're also the folks that tell the folks that are tasked with doing the regulations what can actually be done from a measurement standpoint, what quality of data are possible, and just what are the limits. So just to quickly, I'm just going to breeze through these projects because we don't have much time. Condensable particulate matter is a very important topic right now, and EPA, regulations in the U.S. to control particulate matter have advanced to the point where the condensable fraction is dominant. Condensable is what forms outside the stack. We have two methods. Method 202, which is a method-defined regulation. It's wet impingers. It's subject to bias. And that's being compared to another method that is a dilution-based, another test method, 37. So there's research comparing the two under controlled conditions using our test facilities in North Carolina. And what we're trying to do is reconcile how well they compare and try to get at a true measurement. Another one is the video imaging spectroradiometry. This is for flares and the efficiency testing for that. That's an important topic. There's a lot of demonstration testing going on with that, and it involves the new source performance standards as well as the national emission standards for hazardous air pollutants. A biggie I want to convey here is the integrated path SIMS. That is starting to get some traction in the U.S. Currently, the method for HCl I was telling you about, PS18, is the only currently promulgated method for integrated path SIMS, and we are trying to expand that to things like NOx, SOx, CO2, CO, moisture. And EPRI, the Electric Power Research Institute, who represents the electric utility industry, have been very involved and supportive and are working with EPA to do some demonstration work. We're in the process of pulling together another test method, and I'll talk more about what another test method is in a little bit. Another thing is the reciprocating internal combustion, or RICE engines. So they are a source of organics, and there's a movement, as I indicated previously, towards regulating individual HAPs. And so what this project is about is testing and using FTIR specifically to identify a specific suite of HAPs that could then be recognized as a total hydrocarbons, but it's a sum of individual species. So that's going forward, and that's a really important one, and one EPA has been working on for quite a while. Another is developing new test methods for wood stoves, wood heaters. What we have out there now has been around for quite a while, so those are being updated. There are new hydroponic heaters, and the way that the fuel is introduced and keeping it uniform, those are all aspects of the research being conducted. This involves NESCOM. It's a group of Northeast states, and they actually have procedures, and so we're adopting those procedures where possible. I'll talk later on this afternoon about PFAS measurement from stationary sources, so I won't go into that, but other test methods come out of this OAQPS group. Specific test methods. So, if you were not aware, Method 23 has recently been revised. It was started to move forward before COVID. COVID threw a wrench in that. I think the big highlights is that it is being expanded, or has been expanded, to include PAHs and PCBs, which are also formed in a number of combustion processes. And that method is actually out there now. I'm pretty sure Ray Merrill, one of my important colleagues, is the lead for that. Revisions to Method 202. So I mentioned the work that we're doing with the condensable PM. So that'll feed these revisions. And later this year, I think, is when they're hoping to do it, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's not until 2024. Revisions to Method 320. This is a really important one, another one that's been on the books. Method 320 is the FTIR method that serves as an alternative reference test for, say, individual CEMs like a NOx or a SOx, and it gets those other compounds that we don't have a specific pollutant method for. It has not been updated in close to 20 years, and so a lot of people do the ASTM method. I want to say 6348. I'm not positive about that, but the merging of that ASTM method, which has recently been revised, is being harmonized with Method 320. Dave Nash is the guy there. It includes more rigidity for dynamic spiking. It also makes provisions for the new gases that I was talking about just a little while ago. So that should be coming out rather soon, and it will be formally proposed and promulgated. Method 327, this is a really, really important one. So EPA is shifting quite a bit towards fence line measurements, fugitive emissions, and this is one of the methods for that. So if you're familiar with TO15A, the canister method for ambient organics, this is a modification to that and has some specific criteria. So if you're not aware, the ambient methods are not, they're guidance, they're not really regulatory, whereas this method does have specific performance-based method criteria. Another topic that falls in line with this is passive sampling with sorbents. So there's not a slide for that, but that is something that is becoming more important to EPA. So the general belief is that we're in pretty good shape on the direct emission sources, and now EPA is moving aggressively towards the fugitive emission and fence line monitoring. Already talked about PS19, and that is something that you can look into. As I mentioned, Ned Shapley is the lead there. Talk quickly about other test methods. I'll talk this afternoon about OTM 45. Another one out there is OTM 46, and this was Ray Merrill's attempt to get the method out there so that people would use it and inform Method 23. So it was really important feedback because of the different approaches, the use of new standards. How do people feel about that? Another one is OTM 48, emission factors using the carbon balance method. This is really important to the next OTM, which uses aerial balloons or drones to make measurements from like open detonation, open burning, wildfires. So those two methods kind of line up together. What's in preparation is another one called OTM 49. It is essentially Method 23, but it's for tandem mass spectrometry. You know, the old mass specs, the mag sectors, those are becoming outdated. And so there's a way to move towards the tandem MSs. I'll talk about OTM 50 this afternoon, and we've already hit on OTM 52. And I breezed through that one, so I'm going to give you some time back.